What an unexpected scene this was during the Olympics in Milan, Italy. Here we see JD Vance, the Ohio senator, and his wife, standing amidst a crowd of international spectators during the opening ceremony. At first glance, it looked like any other event, but then the atmosphere shifted dramatically. The applause faded, replaced by loud jeering, whistles, and boos erupting in the stadium. This wasn't just a minor reaction, it was a full-blown crowd protest. Vance and his wife, both known for their controversial political stances and outspoken support for certain policies, found themselves at the center of a wave of public dissent. The boos were so intense that even the commentators on the broadcast couldn't ignore them. They acknowledged the jeering, noting that it was a clear sign of the crowd's displeasure. Why did this happen? Critics say it's rooted in the political climate back home, where Vance has become a polarizing figure. His vocal support for restrictive immigration policies, his alignment with President Donald Trump's rhetoric, and his recent comments on social issues have made him a lightning rod for criticism. Many international spectators see him as emblematic of a more divisive nationalist approach that they oppose. Moreover, the reaction to Vance at the Olympics isn't isolated. It reflects a broader international sentiment, disapproval not just of Vance personally, but of the political ideology he represents. The global community, especially in progressive circles, views his presence as a symbol of the American political shift towards exclusion and authoritarian tendencies. The booing was a clear message: they reject his politics, and by extension, they reject the policies he promotes. Now many are asking, why wasn't Donald Trump there? The answer is simple. Trump is acutely aware of how he would be received on the global stage. Unlike Vance, who was caught off guard, Trump knows that his presence would likely trigger even more intense protests and jeering. His history of controversial statements, ongoing legal investigations, and the deep polarization he embodies make him a risky figure at international events. Trump's absence from such global sporting events isn't accidental. It's strategic. He chooses to stay in his comfort zone, rallying supporters at home, where his base is loyal, and where he can bask in adulation without the risk of facing widespread booing. That's why he avoids international forums and major events like the Olympics or the Super Bowl. For him, it's about control, the spectacle, the applause, and the adoration. Critics argue that this avoidance speaks volumes about Trump's awareness of his unpopularity abroad and the discomfort his presence would cause. They point out that he's more comfortable in controlled environments where he can manipulate the narrative and avoid genuine opposition. His decision not to attend the Olympics or other high-profile international events is seen as a reflection of his fragile ego and fear of public rejection. Furthermore, the reactions to Vance's booing have sparked a wider debate about the state of American politics. Many analysts say that the global rejection of certain American politicians mirrors internal discontent. The international community is increasingly critical of America's direction, its policies, its political rhetoric, and its societal divisions. The boos at the Olympics aren't just about Vance. They symbolize a global repudiation of what many see as a departure from American ideals of openness, inclusion, and leadership.
The Libertarian Party should nominate Trump for President of the United States. Whoa. That's nice. That's nice. Only if you want to win. Only if you want to win. Maybe you don't want to win. Maybe you don't want to win. Thank you, D-Roy. Thank you. No, only do that if you want to win. If you want to lose, don't do that.
Some critics are even saying that Vance's experience at the Olympics highlights how disconnected some American politicians are from the reality that many people around the world see. While they might be used to staged rallies and friendly audiences at home, the international stage exposes the true sentiment of the global community: disapproval, skepticism, and sometimes outright hostility. In the end, what this incident reveals is the broader truth about American politics today: the divide between domestic political spectacle and international perception. It underscores why figures like Trump often avoid global events. They know the truth of how they're perceived beyond the borders of the United States. And it also shows how the world is watching, increasingly aware of the politics that shape the American identity. So, as the Olympics continue and athletes from around the world compete in their individual sports, the silent but powerful message from the crowd to Vance and others like him remains clear: they are not welcome, not because of their nationality alone, but because of their politics, their policies, and what they stand for on the global stage.